What's up, guys? I know I promised someone I was going to make this video a while back, but I just got caught up in adulting, and any spare time I had, I just, wanted to ride my bike. But anyways, today we're going to talk about setup for drop bars. It's been about 2 years since I first built this thing, maybe. So my views since my very first video about how I do it has changed. And even then, that last video was a year ago. If you haven't seen that video, click the link over here if I figure out how the cards work. If not, it'll probably pop up the end of this video. But yeah, how to set up drop bars for technical descents. So, what has not changed? The way I angle the bars are still the same. I still angle it downwards, as you can see, and I am running a short stem. Oh, I was also mistaken in thinking that I was running the cowbell flange bars. No, these are regular salsa road bars with a very shallow drop and shallow reach. So, I'm just going to explain the whole angles and stuff again. So, this right here, see that little drop? Alright, it's not a traditional angle. It really isn't, right? Most traditional angle is flat, so you have access to your hoods and your drops and all that stuff, and yeah, I angle mine down, and as you can see, I don't even like wrap the top, because when do you ever hold the top if you're writing technical shit? But anyways, this is why I angled this down. Yeah, I only wrap the bottoms. So I angled this downwards because look at what happens to my wrists. It keeps it straight. If I were to have like a traditional handlebar angle, which is flat, my hands would be somewhere here, and in order to keep my wrist straight, do you see where my back is? Do you see how much angle and how bent my elbows are already? This is not going to do you good for absorbing. First thing you hit, boom, you're going over. So this right here keeps my my wrists a little straighter, my back a little bit more upright, which actually helps keep my heels down so I can load the rear axle a little better. So I'm a left foot front dominant person, but I'm just going to reverse it here so you can see it and see how I can actually do this and my wrists are still straight. Okay, so yes, this is like a gravel bike, right? I do long rides on this. So do I ever ride hoods? Yes, I do ride hoods. On those flat sections where you have to pedal to the trailhead, I just do this. You see what happens over there? My wrists still straight. Position does not change. I'm wearing weird shoes, by the way. Kind of like flip-flops, so the height isn't the same, which means my saddle's probably too high right now. So see how this works? This is the other hand position. The other hand position. Nothing changes very much aside from hand position. And they're all pretty comfortable. So yeah, when I ride the top this way, that's my hand position. Flat, comfortable, and I'm just resting. I'm not holding on. When I'm in the tops, I definitely don't have brakes. That's just the first heads up. I don't have brakes when I'm here, which is why most of the time I'm riding here. And if you look at my body position, it doesn't change. So you're resting where your arms are and stuff like that, but all of this, your support structure, stays the same. So yeah, if you're in a pace line, I'm definitely here. Never here. If I'm in the front, I'm here, or if I'm like solo, just like grinding through a flat, windy section, I'm here. That's what that is. Now, do I do this? Sure, but you can see like nothing changes. Nothing changes. Now, the other reason why this angle I think is really, really beneficial is when you really, really need to put the power down. To put the power down for a climb or technical climb. Check out what happens. I'm just going to raise this, put this on here. Oh, probably not enough. But you see, like if I were to do some really, really dumb climb, and I'm over the bars, or actually maybe I can do it. Like, if the climb is really steep, I probably need to weight it more. You see what happens? Wrist, still straight. So that is probably the main thing about this whole setup right here. So, handlebar setup. Now, what has changed? Oh, before we do that, now in descend mode, yeah, that's a Paul Components dropper post, by the way, old school quick release. I actually have markings over here. That's for full roadie height. That's for descending dumb shit. Yeah. So now, how this works? Let's see. When I'm about to descend dumb shit, right? Boom. Notice, body position already lower. Notice because my back is more upright, wrists still straight. If I had traditional angle, it'd be this right now. Dude, you're not going to absorb shit over here. You're going to go right over. This gives you something to push against, or pull against. So that's what that is. But yeah, you can see how this body position is so much better for attacking the technical descents, right? Now, if I were to go into a real attack position, right there, see what happens? That is where I write all my technical shit. What's happening with my wrists? Yep. Yeah, that's what this is. And I can also hold myself right there. Everything's legit. And you can keep that going. Now, yes, when you're riding drop bars, it is a little trickier to, to load the axle, because a lot of the times your feet, when you're in the drops, it's really easy to kick backwards as opposed to kicking forwards if you were to try and create lift and manual and bunny hop and stuff. So that's one of the few things to keep in mind. But because the angle of these bars are angled down and I can keep my wrist straight and my back straight and not like crazy that. See, this is like the traditional road setup, right? Super arrow, whatever. This is more my setup. When you do stuff like this, you can't. I don't have a rear brake right now. I'm probably not going to, but you can see how I can create lift. Ooh, it is rubbing something. I have no idea what. Oh, it's rubbing the yoga mat. But I can create lift just by taking back. So, just little things like that. And over here, I can also do stuff like that really, really easily while keeping all this straight. So that is like the first big handlebar setup thing. Alright, what else has changed over the last few years? I've started to run my fork way stiffer. So in the last video, I mentioned that my buddy Ian Massey popped my fork up. Yeah, and it felt so much better. Now I actually have my fork in max pressure. So it is set up for someone who's like 220 pounds and above. The main reason why I do that is because the fork is super linear. That's a old R7. So it's super linear, and it blows through travel all the way. So I have it pumped up to max pressure, so I sit higher in the travel a lot more. When you do that, it's a lot easier to, once again, load the rear axle and, yeah, just let it sit higher. That's kind of important, seeing as that you're already over the bars most of the time, and you're already super low. What happens when you're in that position and then you lose travel? Yeah. So that helps out a lot. And then tire pressures, I'm also running way higher at this point. I usually run 40 psi front, 45 psi in the back. And even that, I get flats every once in a while. I still am running tubes. Maybe I should just do tubeless. So, this dumbass forgot to stop and talk about tires real quick. I'm now running 26 by 1.75 small block 8s. And that's the front tire, and you can see it's stupid worn out. The back is, yeah, there are no more knobs in the center anymore. The reason why I'm running these at this point is because they're what I had left in the box. I used to run those $9 Nashbar Streetwise slick tires, which I loved, but I worn mine out. And Nashbar, the parent company, sold out, so now they don't make those tires anymore. But yeah, those are the tires. But I am running tubes, but at 40 in the front, 45 in the back, and that keeps me from dinging rims and whatnot. And even then, I destroyed a rim, the back rim already. You guys have seen that last video where I had to like stand on the wheel to bend the wheel back to clear the seat stays, and then I sent all the drops in braille. Yeah, so that's what that is. So yeah, I'm running stiffer for someone who's pumped up to, for someone that's like 220 plus, and my tire pressures are way stiffer. That is probably like the biggest change. Oh, my buddy Adam also gave me a new wheel set after I busted that last rear wheel. So I actually have a 10mm through axle on the front as well. It's one of those DT Swiss hubs. If you guys remember those, it runs at 10mm as opposed to a 9mm QR skewer, which is kind of cool. I can definitely feel a difference, by the way. When you're hitting rough stuff, it just tracks so much better. You point your wheel and it goes there. Yeah, a lot of these things I'm figuring out just by like swapping and, you know, trial and error. But yeah, through axle, highly recommend if you are going to be doing dumb shit. But yeah, this is the new setup at this point. Is this setup perfect? Of course not. It's a cheap budget setup, right? So it's a cheap budget setup. But it does the trick. It's not gonna be great at anything, but it will get you. It will do enough things where it's pretty alright. Yeah. So that's my whole thing about this right now. My roadie height saddle is actually set to, yeah, roadie height. I actually go to my fitter, Pedro, in San Francisco. Fitted by Pedro, or P-Fits. He's in San Francisco, and he actually set my roadie height, and I told him not to mess with the rest of the cockpits. And as for cleat position, I run the same cleat position whether I'm riding my downhill bike or the gravel bike. Same cleat position. I used to run quick, like multi-release cleats with the tension wound up all the way up. I now run single-release cleats with less tension. I feel that's way better. With less float, I can manipulate the rear end a lot better. But yeah, stuff like that. Oh, even the stiffer fork, by the way, and tire, I do occasionally bottom the shit out of it, and because I have it set up the way I do, the whole package, as in rear load, being able to get into the attack position to rear axle load, and just a stiffer setup, I don't die, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this is my new setup for my drop bar thing. I still call it a gravel bike, but I tend to piss off a lot of gravel purists when I say that. I think it's because they're all pissed that they just spent $3 on a bike and I spent $200. And I do a lot more. But yeah, this is the setup. Oh yeah, wrapping half the bar tape too is kind of cool because I still have half a roll of bar tape and it's sitting in a box. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Check out this one's probably gonna be a video of me doing some dumb shit, and this one is probably gonna be the last drop bar setup video. So have a good one.